That Warriors-Lakers game was tough to watch. Personally, I think that the Lakers are looking rough. And now, of course, I know that sometimes it sounds like I'm overreacting to stuff, but really, this game was a beating, right? Like, there were times where it was close, but it just seemed like they ran their offense in a way where they couldn't win, they couldn't make a run, and their offense felt limited. I believe this is because of LeBron, and I know that it's a wild thing to say when he was probably the best player in this game, apart from the Warriors players. But I do believe that him ball hogging so much this game, and especially during that first quarter, just being so dominant, I believe that that hurt them. Because let's face it, LeBron will have some crazy games sometimes, but he's not that guy who's gonna drop 50 in a playoff game anymore. And they don't need him to be that, but if you're gonna be taking up the ball for most of the first half, then for the second half you either need to keep that up or start passing it more. And that didn't happen. I believe he had like 17 points at the half when I was watching it yesterday on good efficiency, and then he ended up with 25 points. That means in the second half you got 7 points. And in my opinion, that's really because of LeBron's motor. Like LeBron, yes, he's a great player, but let's face it, he doesn't have the same motor that he had 10 years ago, 5 years ago even. Like 5 years ago he was in Cleveland and his motor was insane, but I believe that since his motor has slowed down, then they need to use a game plan which works from the start of the game to the finish of the game. He was playing great, and when he was playing great, the team was playing great, and they were competitive against the Warriors. But I believe that if LeBron is going to keep doing this thing where he goes crazy for a quarter or two and then he slows down again, that hurts his team entirely. I also want to say that Anthony Davis finally had an off game. This was coming from him, and he also got hit pretty hard in the head, so I hope that he recovers. I do believe that one outlier in this game was... Oh, no, 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 no. Anthony Davis had a good game where he had 23 and 9. But I do believe that one star who shined this game was Austin Reeves. He played really well, and if you actually watched parts of the game, then you would know that he was making good shots, right? He shot 50% from 3, and I believe that he was one of those guys where he was keeping the team positively. Also, D'Angelo Russell, if you watched the game, he came in when they were going in a drought. And there was a part where they were like close, and he was cutting their lead. Like the Warriors were up 10 on the Lakers, and he was cutting their lead, right? And where he came and he was scoring like midi pull-ups and the stuff that he does. And I believe that he had the lowest plus minus from a starter, and I believe that that shows to his impact. I also want to say that Lonnie Walker got 28 minutes this game. I understand that after last game he deserves it, but he didn't show up at all, and that has to be accounted for. It's like, yes, we're going to take time away from Malik Beasley, Wenyen Gabriel, and these other guys just so we can make time for you. And if you can't step up, Lonnie Walker, then what are you doing? Like, yes, you got the 15 fourth quarter points, but I believe that the Warriors need to knock down his minutes, because there's no way he should be playing more minutes than a guy like Jared Vanderbilt. For the Warriors, I believe that the biggest thing was obviously Stephen Curry and Andrew Wiggins. If you watched the first half, then Andrew Wiggins was going absolutely insane, right? Put back dunks, tough threes, and I believe that really what changed the game for them was Draymond Green. Draymond played insanely well. Yes, he had a lot of turnovers, but let's face it, Draymond, at this age, it's hard for him to have such a good offensive game where he drops 20 points and 10 rebounds. He also had 4 assists, and he did it on great efficiency, hitting all of his free throws. That doesn't sound like Draymond Green. That sounds like an alien dressed up as Draymond Green. Because let's face it, Draymond's thing is to play defense, and that wins them games. But the fact that he actually dropped 20 points shows that first, they wanted to use him because all series long the Lakers were feasting on the Draymond as such a defensive liability, just so they could, not such an offensive liability, just so they could nag at him, right? So it's like, oh, you're not going to do anything, so we're just going to leave you open. And he got free drives to the rim all game. Also, I want to say shout out to Gary Payton. He's been absolutely insane for the Warriors. Maybe not on the stat sheet, but he's been making big plays, playing big minutes, playing a lot of defense. And I believe that he's just one of those guys who's a game changer. I want to say Jordan Poole still continues his cold streak. He's not stopped, and I believe that this is really affecting his team because even a guy like Moses Moody, who got 13 less minutes, like Jordan Poole got 23 minutes, Moses Moody got 10. But Moses Moody shot 100% from three, right? And he got 6 points and 4 rebounds. Jordan Poole was up there for 23 minutes and he got 11 points and 4 assists. So I believe that he's got to step up. I do believe that a big telltale sign this game was that first the free throws were tied, and second that the Warriors just took so many more shots, right? Like they took 5 more shots from the field and made more shots, and then they also took 8 more shots from 3 and they made the same percentage. I believe that the Warriors just got more offense going, and it was a matter of time before the Lakers just couldn't keep up with their pace, because let's face it, the Lakers have done a really good job. But the next game is at home, and how will the Lakers fare up? They're really good at home, but I believe that this game really messes their mental up, because especially to a bunch of young guys, going up 3-1 is really the sign of, oh my God, we're actually going to do this, right? Like you get confident at that point. But when someone shoots you down, are they going to blow a 3-1 lead? And if LeBron blows a 3-1 lead, what does that say about his career? I know that a lot of people will say, no, that won't affect LeBron's career, but it will. But it will. He has a team which is compatible with his skill set. He has a team which complements him well. And if he blows a 3-1 lead, right, then are we looking at it as just, oh, he's just old, so he's not the same player? Or are we looking at it like LeBron is not one of the greatest players anymore in the game? Because obviously he can put up the stats, and LeBron will always put up the stats because he's so big, he's so strong, he's so fast, and he's such a good playmaker that his skills will always be there. But do we change the conversation about LeBron James if he blows his 3-1? Do we change the conversation about Anthony Davis if he blows his 3-1? What do we say about the Lakers in the next up-and-coming weeks, months, and even years in the future when we have these conversations? What do we say about them if they don't win this series, which I don't know if they will? Also, the Warriors, what do we say about them if they don't win this series? They were the champs last year. The champions. The best team in the league by far they were last year. And this year you can't make it out of the second round. That's sad. So what do we say about the Warriors too? Because it would like, what does that say about Steph, right? Like that when he finally got LeBron in the playoffs, which is like a more than competent competition, because let's face it, last year they got Jokic without without any co-stars. They got John Morant without, like, the first time being in the playoffs, in the like real playoffs, which is past the first round, right? So they got a baby team which still needs to learn how to play together. And then in the conference finals they got Luka Doncic with no help. So if you stop Luka, then the team becomes trash. And in the NBA Finals, they got the young Celtics, which had only been to the finals that first time in their whole career. So what does it say about Steph Curry's championship run if they can't beat the 7th-seeded Lakers in the second round? I believe that this series has a lot of implications to it. It has a lot of statistics. It has a lot of story. And it has a lot of meaning to both of these franchises, teams, and overall, like, future of the NBA, what this series holds. I do believe that whoever wins this series might go to the championship. Maybe Denver goes to the championship because they're just that good. But I do believe that this game and the next game, Game 6 in Los Angeles, and this series as a whole is probably the most impacting thing that we have in the playoffs right now. Let's see what happens and how history plays out.